Beautiful good day, everybody out there. And to me, it's another wonderful edition of Realize Chats Hangout with Chande, as with Chanda. Sorry, I said Chande. Yeah, so it's the topic for today. We're supposed to talk about the blame game, pandemic, silencing victims of abuse. But unfortunately, due to connectivity issues and challenges, we're not able to connect with Chanda because of that these are some of the things that we are praying for every day in Africa that will overcome issues of network and connectivity. Because today we're supposed to talk about the blame game pandemic and also how the victims are being silenced, and that is just a major challenge. And let me just there's this report that came. Let me say, though not fully verified, but that this is from Amnesty International. It says that failure to tackle rape cases emboldens perpetrators and silences survivors. The endemic rape underreported due to stigma, victim blaming, police failure to investigate sexual violence deprive survivors of justice. About 11,200 rape cases reported last year. That was no, that was last year. I think that should be 2021, including children raped to death. Despite some of these things, there's need to create, to have a state of emergency against sexual and gender-based violence because this persists every day. A lot of things happen every day because sometimes we have to ask this question. For a lot of things happen of recent, and that is why we have a conversation like this, whereby we are in the midst of either we're saying, okay, what really happened, issues of abuse, people finding it difficult to speak up. We don't know who was abused. We don't know who was raped. We don't know what really happened. But again, it's also let me use the word is a summary of what our society is all about. What are you doing? What contribution are you making to the society? Are you adding value to the society or are you destroying the society? And that is when you look at even the music industry, when we look at what we watch on TV, what we see on our street, when we look at even some of these competitions that young people go into, it's so unfortunate that at this stage you are looking at how can young people at a very tender age still going into a very dirty game called truth or dare. I wonder. I was trying to. I just left one of our solicitors of just some few minutes ago, and he told me that before he could even hear about anything that has to do with sex, it was probably at a early stage, probably a later stage in life, not early stage in life. But now it's so unfortunate that children, even primary one, two, three, they are really involved in all this, promiscuity and every other thing that is happening around us. What can I do? And the reality of it is this: gender-based violence is any harm that is being perpetrated against someone, against an individual, either because of their gender, because of their race, because of cultural beliefs or religious beliefs, trying to diminish who they are as a person. And that is one of the things that we need to understand about gender-based violence. So, and that is why for us in Realize Africa, what we do every day is to see how we can project, how we can talk about it, how we can say it, and how we can engage. Sorry, I didn't mention my name because sometimes issues like these are things that really bothers us a lot. My name is Yoriti Adeshida. I'm the team leader and program director of Realize Africa, and I'm out there to speak against every form of social vices, every form of violence against our boys, against our girls, against our women, and against our men. And it's high time we work together as one. What are you doing? Unfortunately, of recent, we know what happened, within the Nigerian system. Everybody was out there to keep blaming and blaming. And I said something, there's this thing I said. I posted this, let me just quickly check it. I posted it online and I tried to engage people because a lot of people like had to come in and start saying, oh, this is what happened, this is what happened. I said issues related to rape are very complicated. What happened before and after, that is an issue. Then the blame game is a shameful normal. Under the law, because someone is sexy or someone exposes him or herself does not give you the right to our body. And that is what we teach. And that's what we train people on, that sexual and reproductive health and right. Let me say this categorically. You have to understand the concept of rape. Sexual assault or rape, is any intentional act of sexual activity or contact, including rape, but without a person's consent, characterized by coercion or use of force or abuse of authority. And let me just state it clearly now. taking note when it comes to issue of consent, because it's a major issue. Most of the time people see that, oh, she came to my room, I was alone in the room, she came in. That one does not give you the right to rape anybody. Because someone sleeps on your bed, even on cloud, does not give you the right. You have the right also to leave that room. And again, also when it comes to under the law, because I'm just trying to let you know under the law what the law says, because now it's unfortunate that people who have good intentions, good morals, fall victims of things like this. And like, now let me also say this, that consent shall not be deemed or construed to mean failure by the survivor to resist. Because sometimes people feel that, okay, since the person did not resist, no, without verbally saying no, or sorry, without verbally saying yes, or someone not no, like, if since the person did not like either resist, there are reasons why the person might not want to resist. It could be because of a lot of things could have happened. So that is why verbal consent is very, very important when it comes to issues like this, and we have to be frank about it. Then consent is not given when a perpetrator uses coercion, threat, force, or abuse of authority. Then it's also given when even the survivor is asleep, or the survivor is incapacitated or unconscious. So we have to really understand that. It's very, very important. Sometimes when we look at issues like this and we don't understand what rape is, and we just keep thinking that this happened is because of what she wore and all those things. That is not issue of rape when it comes to law. Yes, the issue of dressing, the issue of morality is a separate issue when it comes to rape. We always say this in Realize Africa. When there's an issue of rape, let's drop the blame game. Let's address the victim. Let's address those who are affected. Number one, the mental health of individuals involved, because these are human beings. These are people, one way or the other, the society failed them, the system failed them, and because of that, they found themselves in situations like that. And we need to see how we can save a victim like that, not to start casting aspersion, blaming the person. What were you wearing? Are you not enjoying the way the thing was happening? When you were always wayward, you're a wayward child, and when you always go on online and do all sorts of things, why wouldn't they rape you? That is not the matter when it comes to issues of rape. Those issues of morality can be taken care of after, not at the point when this person or this victim is suffering from a mental, because at that point the person is mentally even let me use the word imbalance, and you have destroyed people like that. It's so unfortunate that cases like that we see nowadays, a lot of victims like this end up committing suicide, or end up in depression, or end up becoming an enemy of the society. And it's high time we have to understand that. Deal with the person. Let's heal the person. Let there be healing. Let the healing process come in. Then after that, later on, probably you could just come in the place of counseling. Okay, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what, but that would not be when at the point whereby this person needs an attention when it comes to his or her mental health issues. And also, let me say this, that rape, sexual assault includes child sexual abuse, groping. Sometimes people just touch people's body anyhow. That is rape. That is sexual assault. But people don't understand. For girls out there, for boys out there, you have the right, even if someone touches you in any manner that is uncomfortable, or any manner that goes straight to where your private part is, you have the right to speak up. You have the right to raise alarm. You have the right even for that person to be charged, even for assault. But most of the time, we live in a society whereby people just think that, I don't know what to say, I'm just keeping quiet. Please and please, anybody holding you, normally, I always tell young people, shake is shake. You shake and you leave. But once shaking starts, rubbing and all these things, that is assault. Anything also when it comes to issue of rape, let's remember too, rape is not just only through the vagina. It could also be anal, it could also be oral, it could also be something that has to do with drug facilitated sexual assault. And again, also it could also be in form of torture. So these are some of the things that we need to understand. Then again, also let's note that even flashing and exposing, yourself either to other, when someone is exposing him or herself, like let me say you intentionally, even to probably to seduce you, that also is sexual assault. You have to understand that. Then again, also forcing someone to look at sexual images. I know these are happening. Sometimes people don't understand. Even parents can be charged for this. Friends can be charged for this, and that is why nowadays, it's so unfortunate that what is trending in Nigeria today, where we have unfortunately the start. No, let me use the word shameful, behaviors of Nigerians spreading, things that we are supposed to cover up that happen between people who are underage. Don't forget that I think if I stand to be corrected, that's 11 years imprisonment for sharing such images online. Then it could also be revenge porn, and that's why I also want to use this opportunity. If anybody is out there challenging you and say that, oh, if you don't come to me this night, or if you don't sleep with me, I'm going to release those nude pictures of yours. Let me say this: nobody has the right to release your sexual images or your private images online. The person will rot in jail if you know your right. It is your right. Tell the person you have a lawyer and you'll meet in court. And probably if you need more assistance, we could also engage on that. So these are some of the things that I think we need to really understand and get ourselves, in the right place. And I'm going to round up, basically with this. I believe that we've understood, basically one or two things that, let me use the word that can work with us. And we have to understand that we should keep engaging. And our phone number, our WhatsApp number is on the screen. Try to engage on WhatsApp and see how we can help you in case you are a victim of violence, in case probably you are a victim of sexual abuse, or someone probably you are a victim also of revenge porn. Someone is trying to threaten you that, oh, he or she is going to release your nude pictures online just because, like kind of a payback thing or something like that. Let me tell you, the law is there to protect you. And that is why we are there to help you. We have lawyers, we have advocates that can fight for you. Or probably you're a victim of domestic violence, you're a victim of one issue or the other. The law is there to protect you. Speak up. Don't die in silence. And it's out there for people that are out there. If you are watching, and there's this thing also I had to also share. Let me just quickly share this. It says, I talked about, so if you want to criticize me, okay, I said something like, there's something I said. I said, okay, I said, do you know that a lot of people that advance in sexual immoral acts today are victims of rape? What is trending today? Nobody is talking about the pedophile that is behind all those things. Nobody's talking about, oh, what, there's something on the ground. Some of these people, some of these young people, they are victims of rape. And when they are assaulted and nobody cancels them, it becomes part of them and they become a problem to the society. Now the society is blaming them. But whereas, where is that man? Where is that person that introduced that thing to them, which we need to stand up and stand against? Then I said, no, today, these are victims of rape that were silenced and they were not cancelled properly. The sentiment and the blame game hits them as a blow. It's high time we drop all these accusations, and as if we are also holy. What's the question? How much? For those who are biblical, you can understand what even our Lord Jesus Christ said. He said, he who is without sin, let him be the first to throw that stone. We all jump up and down as if we are also, we don't have issues that we are battling with, as if we are saints. But when someone, when someone is wounded, we are so used to wounding someone who is already carrying a wound. We shoot a wounded soldier, and that's the society we find ourselves. It's high time we drop all these accusations as if we are all holy and seek healing for those affected. Later, we can talk about lifestyles, and that's just the thing. And that's why I want to say this. There's this song by Two Face said, "Some people be acting like they know it all when everybody knows that people rise and fall. Some rise up and again and just to stand up tall and wiser and stronger. But no matter how long you live, you cannot learn it all. You go only do your best, but go fit do all. So if you want to criticize me, talk small, cause only pass my brother, only pass my sister. Oh, let let's heal the wounded, and that's just the thing. So that is what we have for you on Realize Africa. This is the chat series. This is Realize chat series. We'll be doing this sometimes gradually, just one on one to engage and also to educate people out there. But what we just want to say is this: let's stop the blame game. Is enough, please. Stop that blame game. It's enough. Please, let's end it. Stop it and let's look at ourselves. What are you doing? What am I doing? What am I doing to add value? We wake up every morning as an organization. We go to schools. We have clubs in girls' schools. We also engage boys. We go to different platforms to talk about issues like this. We are on radio. We talk about it. What are you doing? And it's high time for you. If you have this passion, you can also join us to keep engaging and to keep helping people out there and to see how we can end this scourge, this pandemic in our society that has entered into our system. And how can we help these young ones? They need someone to talk to. We understand that parenting issues, I know someone who is watching is talking about parenting. I do agree. I'm not arguing with you. But even if it fails, are we going to look at it just like that? Are we going to allow it to go like that? Because it doesn't happen to me, it doesn't happen to your family, it does not mean that you should keep quiet. Because this thing, I said it somewhere, I said this thing is like someone farting and the smell is going around gradually. It's just like an infection. If we don't act, if we don't talk, things will not get better. So it's high time we do that. And let me just show you like a clip of what gender-based violence is all about. Because sometimes people also think that gender-based violence is just about, oh, you knock a woman, you beat a woman, or you beat a man. That is gender-based. Gender-based violence has different variations. And it's high time we understand some of these things so that we'll be able to get the right things to do. So I'll be right back. I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to show you some of one of these videos so that I can also get some inspiration about how it works. And I'll be right back after this. So.
Violations. GBV is violence directed against gender-based violence. Gender-based violence, or GBV, is one of the most common and widespread human rights violations. GBV is violence directed against someone on the basis of their gender or sex, which results in physical, sexual, or psychological harm. These acts violate an individual's human rights. GBV is most commonly perpetrated by men against women, girls, and other vulnerable people. However, men can also be victims of gender violence. Who are the perpetrators? Non-partner violence is violence inflicted by someone you do not know well, like strangers, acquaintances, or colleagues. However, violence is generally perpetrated by someone you are close to. This is known as interpersonal violence, which is perpetrated by either a friend or a family member. Intimate partner violence is perpetrated by someone you are in an intimate partner relationship with, a lover, spouse, or an ex-partner. What are the different types of violence? Physical violence is the intentional use of physical force or threats of violence. From a pinch to a punch, any act or threat of violence is damaging, whether the damage can be seen or not. Sexual violence is forcing, intimidating, or even tricking someone to engage in any sexual act against their will. Any sexual act with someone who is unable to understand what they're doing or is unable to consent because of their age, an illness, disability, or the influence of alcohol or other drugs is sexual violence. Forcing a lover or spouse to engage in sexual acts is a form of sexual violence, either called marital rape or intimate partner rape. Sexual harassment is also a form of sexual violence that can either be verbal or physical. It occurs in private and public spaces, such as schools, workplaces, in the streets, and on public transport. Economic violence involves denying a person access to their money, economic activity, or other basic needs by either controlling their finances or stopping them from achieving financial independence. All these forms of violence may lead to emotional and physical trauma. Emotional violence can also include verbal abuse, humiliation, and controlling what a person can and cannot do. Emotional and economic violence are as equally damaging and disempowering as sexual and physical violence. These types of violence are often misunderstood or ignored by people, even those we turn to for help, like the police, the courts, and other support structures. No matter who you are, where you live, or who is inflicting it, GBV is never acceptable.
Yes. Yes, that is it. GBV, it's never acceptable. And that is just the reality of it. It's never acceptable at all. And it's something that we should end. And again, let me just round up also with this, because now we're looking at psychological and economic abuse. It's so unfortunate that looking at the economic situation around issues of inflation and things around us, a lot of people are suffering also from economic and psychological abuse. So let's just have this clip, watch it, and understand what it's all about. And at the end of everything, I'm going to round up. And if you still have comments or you want to drop any message, feel free to keep dropping it. And let's see how we can all engage and also help one another. It's very important we all get this right and get things right in the right way. Yeah. So that's it.
Gender-based violence is a problem everywhere. That's why it's important to understand what it looks like. Did you know that globally, at least 1 in every 3 women experiences some form of violence? In most cases, this violence is committed by men against girls, women, boys, or other men. That's because many cultures around the world teach young boys and men early on that being violent and aggressive and sexual is part of their nature. But the truth is, every man has a choice about who he will become. In this video series, you will learn about the different types of gender-based violence and what you can do to address them. Gender-based violence is defined as any form of violence that is directed at someone because of their gender. In this video, we'll discuss psychological and economic gender-based violence. Psychological gender-based violence is any act that causes emotional harm and targets someone because of their gender. Some examples include controlling or restricting someone's movements, threatening another person, verbally disrespecting and degrading another person. This type of violence can also occur online through social media and might involve taking or sharing intimate photos of another person without their consent or sending someone unwanted sexually explicit images. Next, economic gender-based violence is any action that causes economic harm to someone because of their gender. This can include withholding family finances, spending jointly earned income without consent, or preventing someone from getting an education or earning their own income. You can't see the harm caused by psychological or economic gender-based violence, but it can be just as painful. And often, these types of violence lead to physical or sexual violence. Check out the next video to learn more. For more, visit yali.state.gov.
Thank you. It's so that is just it, and I believe that we've learned one thing or the other, and it's very important that we get it right. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. There's something that's because I know presently, though we'll still talk more about that. Talking about the issue of domestic violence, where we have joint account, and it's a crime for even if though for us, I've gotten to a point whereby I would say this, that I will not even encourage even the use of even the joint account. I will not, because of the situation we find ourselves. We found a lot of women get stranded at a point whereby they are strangulated economically through economic violence, because the man takes charge of the economy or the finance of the family. And from what you can see, it's a crime even for you to spend the money even without the consent of the other person. Is even is it's a let me use the word, the person is liable even to a sentence even in court. And that is why it's better, I always say this for young people out there, as young as you are, as a man, as a woman, please and please don't wait until marriage for you to achieve what God has planned for you. Keep on developing it, because the irony of it is that most people see marriage as the solution to their, let me say as a solution to finding their purpose in life, if I can use that, because I don't use the word like solution to their life, finding their purpose in life. And when they get there, they become manipulated. But if you have found your purpose, if you have found what God has planned for you, and when part of the requirement, let me say part of the negotiation, because in Realize Africa we do what we call sexual and reproductive health and rights. There's a place of negotiation and assertiveness. part of your negotiation with whoever your spouse to be is your continuation of the purpose and the vision and the fulfillment you have in your life. Anybody that will silence your vision and your fulfillment, to me, the person is trying to push you to that pit of violence. Anybody that is not ready to expect, that's not ready to for you to express your own God-given talent, your own fulfillment in life, that is training you, that is affecting you. We all know what is happening. I don't want to, because we don't have much time, but we know what is happening around us. Anybody that is depriving you from achieving that purpose and what you want, all because of marriage, all because of love, to me, you have to think twice, run before you enter. And if you are inside, it's high time you speak up before you lose your life, because we need you. We need you. We need you. We need you. Don't lose your life. So thank you very much for joining us. And let me just drop this reminder, especially for some who are still involved in this. And that is from that's the gender-based violence unit in Lagos State, which says that we also use this medium to remind the general public that any person, hear me now, who engages in any visual depiction of sexually explicit conduct involving a child commits an offense and is liable to custodial sentence of 14 years. Hear me now. And this includes producing, distributing, receiving, or possessing an image of child pornography. Please, if it is on your phone, go straight and go and delete it. If it's on your page, well, I don't know. I pray God will help you, because internet never forgets. If you have been distributing and sharing it on your page, it's a shameful act. Why will you be involved in it? It's 14 years imprisonment. Hear me out now. If you are involved in that, if you are involved, you have a possession of a child pornography or anything that has to do with a child that diminishes that child. And let me say this. When it comes to issues of children, that is why for those who are matured media platforms, what do? They cover the face of the child. They conceal the identity of the girl. It's so unfortunate. Who is the person? Because I don't want to say this. I don't want to get hot on this. Some people had the guts to go straight to go and dig someone's social media account, an underage social media account. To me, I think all these people, they have to be arrested. They have to be dealt with. For what? When it comes to issues of this, you conceal the identity of that underage. That's what the Lord says. And I believe that we should be taught that lesson. We should be taught that lesson. Who is that person? Because of what? On social media, someone's private life, someone who is underage, someone that is always to be protected by the society. And we go out there to start, sharing videos, shameful videos, and we keep on, saying all sorts of things and saying all sorts of things. To me, it's a shame. Don't forget, it's said there, 14 years imprisonment. Don't get caught. Change your ways. Let's heal. Let's ask for healing. For the boys, for the girls, all those who are affected, and let's restore them to life. Never and never say anybody's case is closed. We have people who become great and successful in life. You yourself, how holy are you? How saved, how sane are you? We are busy. Everything is about blaming, shouting. To me, let's not be shameful. Let's come back to our senses. Let them be doing it, but don't follow the multitude to do evil. Join the Realize Africa advocacy. Join us and let's do the right thing. Let's engage. Let's speak the truth. Let's speak healing to the land. Let's educate our young people. Let's deliver them from all these form of vices. We'll still get to that point. Skits, music videos, games in schools. A lot of things are happening that are exposing our kids. It's high time everybody must come out with anger, but not to fight. But advocacy anger to change all this so that we can have a better society. I say it once again, if you are involved, is sharing others shameful videos, shameful acts, please delete it. But don't forget, internet never forgets. If it's on your phone, check your phones now, delete it. It's a shame. As I said, those who went to go and dig social media accounts, it's a shame. And people like that should be called, people like that should be arrested because you are trying to unveil the identity. When it comes to underage, you conceal the identity. That's why they cover their face. Well, that's all for today. It's Realize Africa chats, hangouts. We're supposed to have Chanda from Zambia. Unfortunately, because of network, we couldn't. And that's why we had to use this. And because one thing in media advocacy or development world is we live as Boy Scouts. Always be prepared. And that's why I had to prepare this short thing just to educate us out there. And let's see how we can live in a better society. So my name is Iriti Adeshida. I'm the team leader. I'm the program director of Realize Africa. And I want to appreciate the program director, the project director, Damola Oluwadaun, and all the other team members working behind the scene. And let me say this on Friday, this Friday, by 4 p.m. Nigerian time, GMT +1, we will be live with Chef Toffa and Zoe from Ghana. Chef Toffa is a survivor, is a rape survivor. She's a rape survivor, and she has a lot of stories to tell. She's going to come in practical, engage us, explain to us. The one thing I like about her is that she's someone that is vibrant. She's vibrant, she's vocal, she's passionate, she's speaking up against those predators, those evil people. But they thought they would destroy her life, but they failed because she's who she is today, and she's just starting in life. So on Friday, this Friday, 22nd, of April, 4 p.m. live on this channel on Facebook and on YouTube at Do It Right RGN. Join us. It's going to be a wonderful time with Topper Chef Benedicta and Zoe, who is also an gender-based violence advocate, and also she's into child marriage too, advocacy in Ghana. She works for Metro TV Ghana. Topper, she's also a chef in Nigeria. She's doing well. We'll be having them live on the show. So once again, I want to say thank you very much. Feel free to reach out to us. The number is on the screen. And keep following us. And let's see how we can move forward. Take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your day. And God bless you. Bye.